So as a child of immigrant parents, Florida-born aerospace engineer Christopher Huey is the first Jamaican to go into space, first black man of Jamaican heritage. He's zooming in now for our diaspora check-in. He's in LA joining us right now. Good morning, Christopher, and welcome to Smile.
Good morning. Hello. Thank you for having me.
It is very good to have you. This is really a fantastic... I mean, when I read your bio, I wasn't sure where to start this morning because there are so many things I want to ask you. But let me start with the Jamaican connection. So your mom left Jamaica at 17 to go to the States. She went to Florida, right?
No, she went to Chicago. We had family there. Her Aunt Gloria lived there. And so she went there to go pursue more opportunities in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit about growing up because this was something you kind of always had an interest in.
It is, yeah. I think, I've always been technically inclined. I like to take things apart, put things back together. I played with a lot of Legos. My parents, both my parents are Jamaican, Grace Huey and Lloyd Spence. And so I ended up growing up in Florida, but my dad lived in Jamaica. And so as a kid, I would fly back and forth every summer to go see my dad in New York. And so I really just got used to flying a lot, and I really loved the experience. And I knew I wanted to pursue something in aviation or aerospace. And you could say the rest is history.
The rest is history. Speaking of history, the world's 19th black astronaut. You thought, as this article says, that there was a 1 in 10 million chance of becoming an astronaut. Those odds are pretty slim, but here you are, Chris.
Somehow I've made a career of doing things that most people don't do, and that's panned out pretty well. But yeah, just because something is impossible doesn't mean, just because you think something is impossible doesn't mean that it can't be done.
Right. So what do you attribute that to? What do you attribute that to? That je ne sais quoi that you have, that qualitative thing that allows you to have these big, hairy, audacious goals and make them happen?
I think I've been able to draw motivation internally, and I just always wanted to do more. So I didn't grow up with a whole lot, raised by a single parent, mother of 2 kids. And so it was just wanting a better life than, wanting my mom to be proud of me. And, she came to the U.S. to pursue, the American dream and to have more for her family and for herself. And so I just, wanted to follow up on the family legacy and make sure that I was doing something with the opportunity that I was granted by having the education that I had, by being in the environment that I had. So I truly believe that success is a combination of preparedness and opportunities.
For sure.
And so what I can do is be prepared and try to look for those opportunities.
Yeah, your mother worked really hard to ensure that you were able to get the education you needed for you to take off in this way. And I use the pun deliberately, so much so that you paid tribute to her before you traveled beyond the Earth's atmosphere for the first time in May. I want to talk about that, but how emotional was that moment for you, just knowing that all her sacrifice, all the hard work that had been poured into you was now going to manifest in such a major way?
I love the way you put that, because that's really how I felt going into this experience. When I found out that I was going to have the opportunity to fly to space, the first thing that I envisioned was walking off the spaceship and then seeing my mom out there in the crowd and being able to hug her and kind of have this moment where all of our hard work and effort is paid off and is symbolized in this epic moment of literally launching into space and seeing our planet. So to say it was emotional was an understatement, but yeah, it was a beautiful moment.
Wow. So let's go back now, backtrack to the moment. I want to talk about the moment when you heard that this was going to be your thing. Chris, you get the call. Take us back. Chris, you are heading into outer space.
So I got the call from one of our presidents at Virgin Galactic and said, "Hey, Chris, we really want to send you to space on the next space flight." And I was absolutely floored. Virgin Galactic is a fairly small company, fewer than 1,000 people at the time. So much better chances than 1 in 10 million, but still not an easy thing to do. But, I just kind of right place, right time. I made a career of being very good at my job and very high reputation within the organization. And so, I was recognized by having this opportunity, and I was just completely humbled and honored to have that experience, and then represent my teammates, literally hundreds of people, thousands of hours over 2 decades to make this moment come to life. So it's unforgettable, and I'm just really humbled and grateful for the experience. It was incredible.
So that's a call. Now take us to May 25. Unity 25 is the name of the craft, right? So talk me through that day. I'm reading here. You say when you looked down at our beautiful planet from space, something that so few humans have experienced, it was awe-inspiring, and you say reverent.
Yeah, it was. It was in a day. It was a huge day filled of like very high highs and just so much emotion and excitement. A lot of anxiety going into the moment, but the most thrilling parts are obviously like riding the rocket. How many people can say they've ridden a rocket? Not very many.
No,
More
that is not my experience. Nope.
But it's an amazing feeling of acceleration. You're flying faster than the speed of sound. You're pinned into your seat, and the next thing you know, the rocket shuts off, and then you're just weightless, and you look out the window and you can see the Earth, and that's just something that it's so hard to explain, and only once you see it will you know how you're going to feel and how to process that. And so I call it a reverent moment. So when you get to the highest point of the flight, it's called the apogee. And that moment at apogee is just so special because you're the highest point that you are over the Earth. I think my flight went about 54 miles, 284,000 feet. And they call for silence in the cabin. And so you're completely floating weightless. You let go of anything you're holding on to, and you're just floating there. And you're looking out the window. You don't feel your body. There's no gravity on you. You're just floating there and you feel nothing. All you feel is just one with the Earth as you look out the window. And it's a beautiful planet. You can see so far. The edge of the Earth is just this beautiful thin blue line that's all of our atmosphere. And then beyond that, you just see the blackness of space. And, you just feel very one with the Earth, and you get this amazing global perspective that kind of changes how you think about things.
I'm sure it must. It sounds like a life-changing experience. We have to go, but what's next? After you experience that, where do you go from there?
I'm working on a couple of projects on the side. I'm not ready to talk about them, but one of my long-term careers is to be an entrepreneur and one day start my own space company to help bring more people of color into the space economy. So that's my end goal.
Are you heading back out there?
I'm going to try. We'll see.
Yeah. Wow. We are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fantastic. Geez. I mean, you say it's hard to describe, but you described it pretty well. And I can only imagine how it changes your life to be able to experience that. Chris, thank you so much. You want to say hi to Mom and Dad? Are they here?
My mom lives in Florida, but I've got a lot of family. My dad passed away last year, Lloyd Spence. But
our condolences to you.
But to the Huey clan, the Harvey clan, the Spence clan, my cousins Archie and Janelle. Hi guys.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Oh, Neville is asking, my co-host Neville Bell is asking you to bring back some moon dust for him.
Okay, just for you, Neville.
Okay.
Thank you.
Christopher Huey, aerospace engineer. Thank you so much, Chris, again, for joining us. So that's our diaspora check-in for this morning, everybody. Coming back to talk about deepfake AI technology with cybersecurity expert Trevor Forrest. That's on the other side of this break. Please, you don't want to miss it. Stay. Stay with us.